You're watching WTVY Channel 4, Dothan, Panama City, and the Tri-States.
It's time now for the morning show with your host Ann Barnum, Teresa Thomas with the community calendar, and Gary Bruce with news and weather.
Well, good morning. It is Tuesday, February the 15th, and we're broadcasting the morning show live from Northside Mall.
Live from the state capitol with Bill Robertson, Deborah Linz, meteorologist Tony Minolfi, and Mark Martin Sports. You're watching Eyewitness News at 6.
From the coast to the valleys to the Cascades, this is KEZI 9 News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Teresa John. Thanks for joining KEZI this Saturday night.
This is Eyewitness News with Fahey Flynn, Kim Peterson for Joel Daly, Steve Deschler, Tim Weigel, and the Eyewitness News team.
How do you do, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Fahey Flynn, and here's what's happening. Negotiations with a price tag.
Accurate, objective, fair. You're watching KBCI CBS 2 News.
It's that time of year again when Boise gets a slew of new...
No Wait News at 10 starts now.
I'm Brad Hudson. Welcome to KIDK News Watch 3.
And I'm JoLynn Thomas. Thanks so much for being with us. I like to watch that stuff, but I'd never want to try it.
Oh, I got to go up once with the Blue Angels. Fantastic.
You did good, too. You didn't even get sick. I would have gotten sick. Well, don't go away because we have a lot more to show you tonight.
Police say a man with a guilty conscience set an adult video and bookstore on fire. We'll have the pictures and the story coming up. You're watching News Watch 3 at 10 on KIDK TV.
An early morning emergency in...
Why'd she need her husband around? He could have been smoking his cigar in the waiting room.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Thanks for joining us.
Have a good night, everybody.
For once on
24 hours a day, click on KIDK.com on the internet. K2TV, Wyoming's news leader, is seeking an enthusiastic self-starter to join our sales team and help promote local business through television advertising. Now for Wyoming's most watched news, the K2 News at 5.
Coming up at 5, a wildfire burning in central Wyoming is threatening ranches and sending some smoke to Casper. That story is next.
And we'll take on Casper Mountain. Now that the Jackson Canyon fire is under control, we'll show you what remains.
From CBS News in New York, this is CBS This Morning. Live from West 57th Street in the center of Manhattan, I'm Mark McEwen in the CBS Broadcast Center. And now, here are Harry Smith and Paul Azan.
Good morning. Good morning. We have...
You're watching 9 News, the Roseburg and Coos Bay Report, with anchor Kim Stark and reporter Brett Von Hoffman. 9 News, your local news team.
Good evening. I'm Brett Von Hoffman.
Tonight, the principal of Steinmetz says he has serious concerns about the emotional well-being of students there. We'll have the latest on the fallout from the high school cheating scandal. Also, a former Price is Right model makes an announcement about her sexual harassment suit against Bob Barker. And the Bears talking about plans for the stadium of their dreams. Next, Channel 5 News at 10.
Channel 5, WMAQ-TV, Chicago. Now, live from the NBC Tower, this is the Channel 5 News at 10.
This is the final phase of the split-up of the 708 area code.
Eyewitness News, the Chicago area's #1 news, with Jose Sanders, Lauren Cohn, Mike Kaplan, and Roz Barron.
This morning, Baby Richard's adoptive parents...
Broncos, David Rose, Lisa Argent, and Bruce Wolf. This is Fox News at 6.
Clear skies and 33 degrees outside on this Friday morning, the 14th day of April. Thanks for joining us, everyone, and good morning. I'm David Rose. Here are some of the stories making headlines.
This is a News 5 update.
Good evening, I'm Jerry Springer. Tonight after the ball game, TV evangelist Jim Bakker is found guilty.
Close to making flag burning illegal. Details on News 5.
I'd always believed that when all the facts were in, that Will would be found innocent.
From the newsroom, this is Channel 9 News with Rollin Smith, Lloyd Lindsay Young's weather, and Russ Salzberg on sports.
Good evening, everyone. You heard the words, not guilty. That's the verdict in the William Kennedy Smith rape trial. It was
working in the spirit of wave country. This is Wave 3 News at 6 for Tuesday, September 17th.
A drop in the temperature coming up now, you're going to find hard to believe. So we're going from one extreme to the other. By the way, the space shuttle will be passing over the Ohio Valley tonight. Would be visible here a little bit before 2 o'clock. It's going down to Landon, Florida. But it's going to be cloudy.
You're watching Wave 3 News at 6 with Don Schroeder, Jackie Hayes, meteorologist John Belsky, and sports with Bob Dominic. Wave 3 News, working in the spirit of wave.
WYMT TV, sharing the news at home. This is 57 Mountain News with Tony Turner, Sherry Sparks, Scott Staten with sports, and Jeff Noble with weather. 57 Mountain News at 6.
Good evening, I'm Neil Middleton. Tony has the night off.
On World News Tonight this Wednesday, what the scientists thought as they zeroed in on evidence of life on Mars.
I had difficulty sleeping because of the thoughts of what this could be.
The value jet crash in Florida. Did somebody try to cover up a grievous mistake? And tonight's news about your health. Vast changes in dealing with impotence. Even the possibility of a pill for men.
From ABC, this is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
Good evening. We're going to begin tonight with what the scientists say is the most spectacular discovery.
The news capital of Michigan. This is the News Express. And in the next 10 minutes, you'll get everything you need and more. And it starts now.
A bullet enters this house, striking an 11-year-old girl in her sleep. Have police captured a suspect? And how are neighbors reacting? I'm Darcy Sullivan, and I'll show you.
A man with a shotgun holds police at bay and closes a Michigan school. An agreement in the case of some MSU students who claim discrimination in a local mall.
Got your turkey yet? You'd be surprised how many people don't. I'm Christy Fair, and I'll have that story coming up.
And the national tree comes to Lansing.
From the news capital of Michigan, this is the News Express. And in the next 10 minutes, you'll get everything you need and more. And it starts now.
Hello, Mid-Michigan. I'm Joe Parker. Thanks a lot for checking in tonight. Our big story, a stray bullet.
You won't believe who walked her down the aisle. Those stories and your first look at weather are all next on WB News, first at 9.
Live from Tucson, this is your first late news. This is WB News, first at 9, with Heather Rowe.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us. Here's what's happening at 9 o'clock tonight. Aircraft that...
You're watching WB News, first at 9, on Tucson's WB.
Bond is set at more than $250,000 for Phoenix.
Live from our UPN 38 studios, this is The Morning Show with Ted Wayman and Robin Hamilton.
Straight up 7 o'clock. If you're just getting up on this Monday morning, it is a...
Now, an Action 10 news break.
Good evening. Coming up on Action 10 News Night Watch, Night Beat reporter Todd Little takes a look at what's being called a hot case of partisan politics in Knox County. And Matt Ellis concludes his series on the dangers of radon gas. Now this.
You're
watching Oregon's first television station, KPTV, Channel 12, Portland.
Good morning. These are today's news headlines. President Carter tonight unveiled his new campaign to tame inflation, citing the...
This is News 12 Brooklyn, as local news gets.
Today's hot and muggy weather continues all evening.
You're watching New York One, New York's only nonstop local news channel.
It's 8 o'clock. Straight ahead on New York Tonight, the mayor's plan to end social promotion is making the move to 7th grade. Now that class will have to pass certain reading and math exams before moving up. An emotional day for one of the city's bravest, hurt in a fatal fire, as he returns to say thanks to his heroes. And chances are you spend at least some of the day searching for a place to keep cool. We'll tell you how long the heat and humidity will be hanging around.
From New York One News, this is New York Tonight.
I'm Louis Dodley. Welcome on this Monday, July 18th, to another edition of New York Tonight.
This is Eyewitness News with special coverage on Pope Paul John II's visit to New York, with Ernie Anastas, Roseanne Scamardella, and the Eyewitness News team, broadcasting from the newsroom and live from St. Patrick's Cathedral.
Good evening, what a day and what a night this has been. Pope John Paul II making an incredible impression on New Yorkers, people.
This is Eyewitness News with Ernie Anastas, Roseanne Scamardella, plus Spencer Christian and the Eyewitness News team.
Good evening. On this major news night, Ted Kennedy is staging stunning upsets in the New York and Connecticut primaries. And there are lives on the line at the Essex County Jail in Newark.
The affiliate in San Diego.
NBC 7.
39.
News at 11 with Marty Levine, Susan Taylor, Laz with sports, and meteorologist Joe Lazura. Coverage you can count on.
It's a very small community, 1,500 homes, basically.
NBC 7.
39.
News at 6 with Marty Levine, Margaret Radford, Laz with sports, and Bob Dale weather. Coverage you can count on.
Your only chance to evacuate is to leave with us.
From Wave 3 News, where coverage comes first. This is Wave 3 News at 6 with Craig Hoffman, Lori Lyle, Craig Edwards Weather, and Mike Hartnett Sports.
Another bad tornadoes leave a trail of destruction, death, and despair. Good evening, and thanks for being with us tonight. First,
WSMV Nashville, working for you. With Cynthia Williams and Dennis Ferrier, Craig Williams Sports, and James Lewis's weather.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the scene at 6.
KOCO-TV, Oklahoma's Channel 5. This is Oklahoma's 5 News at 10.
And good evening, and thanks for joining us. I'm David Allen.
And I'm